Good morning. We're getting ready to head out to do all of our errands and Evie's dentist appointment. And usually I pack a lunch, but we don't have anything like bread or anything like that in the house. So we're going to see what we can find. I'm hoping to go to the discount stores, get all of our errands done, and then be back here later this afternoon. So let's go. So before we left, I did sit down to work with my budget, and so I was writing in all of the bills that I was paying, and for this week we paid $503 in bills. That covered electricity, tithe, my husband's allowance, our toll money, some life insurance money. I'm not sure if I'm missing anything in there. And then the rest of it we were going to pull out in cash for our other budget categories. And I filled in our expense tracker, got it up to date. And then the next stop was to get gas. I went to Circle K because I could save 5 cents a gallon with their loyalty program. I put $60 into the van, and that only got me a little over half a tank. We're not going to be driving quite as much in the next week, and so hopefully eventually we will build that back up. But then we went to the ATM to pull out that cash. Like I mentioned, the grocery pickups I ended up paying with the credit card, of course, but then a lot of our categories I like to have out in cash, and so I just did that before we moved on to do any of our shopping. Then we went to our first discount store. We were hoping to find a lot of good deals, and there really weren't a ton today. We got a few things, but none of it was absolutely amazing. You can see it's really full.
Look at this bug.
That is gross. There are always plenty of things to find, but for the most part it's things that we wouldn't use or are very expired. So we did buy a few things. We ended up getting about $21 worth of things while we were at this store, and then we were on to the next. So this footage is from the second store that we went to, and we were again hoping to find a lot of good deals. We did end up spending about $54 here. We got this dressing that my husband likes. They carry a lot of the big number 10 cans, but none of it was anything we were really looking for today. We were mainly looking for something to eat for lunch, and so ended up picking up some buns and lunch meat and cheese, and then the cinnamon raisin bread is for another time. And then we were going to go ahead and have a picnic when we left here and waste a little bit of time before we had our other 2 grocery pickup orders. We're standing here just looking at what they had available in the freezer cases, and this is what my cart looked like at that second store.
Wait, is there dumping stuff? What? Is that a bug? Oh, we can't get in there. We can't get in.
Mom wants to pull out.
After we picked up groceries at Martin's and at Walmart, we came downtown to do Aaron's bass lesson and just enjoyed a quick walk on our downtown mall. And it was a little bit chilly, but not too terrible by this time of day, and we just always enjoy that time. So like I said, we are back now, and now it's almost 7 o'clock. We had dinner and did some laundry, hung more up inside because it was chilly and rainy and I didn't hang anything out today. Hopefully tomorrow that will change and we'll be able to dry our laundry outside. You saw our little clip of our picnic there, and you might have noticed ice cream, and there is a story behind that. So there's a dairy that is kind of local to where my husband and I grew up, and whenever Aaron was with my parents one time, he tried this ice cream that was from them that was strawberry cheesecake flavored, and he really liked it, and he asked for it for his birthday back in March, and we couldn't find it here. We couldn't find it in Pennsylvania. We ended up driving to the dairy to see if we could just buy it directly from them, and they said basically that because they're a small dairy, they rotate through, they do different flavors, you know, for a little while and then clean everything, and they'll do a different flavor for a little while. And so it was not strawberry cheesecake making time at that time, and so we got a different flavor for that. But they had the strawberry cheesecake when we were at the discount store today, and I saw it and I was like, oh, Aaron really wanted this, let's get this. But we were going to be in the car for another like 3 or 4 hours till we actually made it the whole way home. And so the only option was to get it and eat it for lunch. So it was only about 50 degrees outside whenever we were having our picnic, but it worked out okay. We had ice cream and sandwiches for our picnic, and yeah, did our grocery pickup. We ended up having to go to 2 different Dollar Trees to get the moisture absorbers that I told you guys I needed to get whenever I did my list yesterday. And then, yeah, came home. And so now we're just chilling. Dana's not coming home tonight. He had a load to New Jersey, and then he's coming back into Pennsylvania, and he's doing a couple loads from there tomorrow. So he'll be home tomorrow afternoon, hopefully. But I'm going to go ahead and tell you everything that we spent today and the total. And so we spent $503 on our bills. We spent $208 on food, $60 on fuel, and $35 on household items. So that would be $711, $771, $806 that we spent today. And thankfully this only happens once a week, but basically we just do all of our spending in one day. Hopefully there won't be anything that comes up in the next few days until it's time to pay ourselves again next week. But I will say that, so in our bills, we account for some things that are just recurring every week. So things like tolls, because we go across a privately owned low water toll bridge in order to get to church. And so we pull $10 a week for that. And that is considered a bill because it's not just spending. My husband will get his allowance. I take $10 a week that I just tuck away for whatever I want. And then our tithe is $100, and that just goes into my purse until Sunday. So on Sunday, if we don't do anything else, we will say that it was a zero spend day because that was already accounted for on Thursday. So that's what we've been doing. I've just been sitting here looking at the book that I showed you guys yesterday. I'm on the dressings and sauces part, which is something I've never really done well. So maybe I will find a good recipe for that. So I'm gonna go rest for a while, and I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Bye.